So for today's lesson, we will be talking about the states of matter. So it's important to recognize that there are three common states of matter that we'll be talking about, and these are the state of a solid, a liquid, and a gas. The state of matter is the condition an object is in, or in other words, what form the molecules are taking. This means that the state of matter is determined by the characteristics of the molecules within the object. So as an example, how close are the molecules to each other, or how fast or slow they're moving. So before we look at this, we're going to take a look at a video that'll show an animation of each of the states of matter. So here we have a side-by-side representation of gas, liquid, and solid. This first is a gas. As you can see, the molecules are held within this container, and this container has a lid on it. So once I press play again, you will see that the molecules are moving very quickly and they are spread out. So here's an up-close version. You can see that they're very spread out. They seem to be floating away. And if we were to take the lid off of this, then all of the molecules would escape. And as you can see, they're not just landing on the table. We'll look at that again. They're not just landing on this bottom surface, but rather they're floating away, as you can see. So in this image you have liquids, and as you can see, the molecules are taking the shape of that container, so they're spreading out to hit the walls. As you can see in this close-up, they're moving still very quickly, but there's not as much space for them to move around, so they can't just float away. If you were to pour a liquid out, it's going to stay on that flat surface and it's just going to spread out because there are no walls of its container. The solid, the molecules are very closely compacted, as you can see, and they're going to move still very quickly but not far apart. They're just going to be vibrating against each other. And as you just saw, whether it is in a container or poured out, it is going to have the same shape. So as you can see here, to the left are some examples of a solid. So these are anything that no matter what container you put it in, they're going to stay the same shape. And if you look on the right, there's an image of what the molecules look like. So they're still in that block, no matter what shape the container is. So next is liquid. So again, these examples are going to be anything that changes its shape to fit the container it's in. So as you can see here, the molecules are going to the edge of the container, to the sides, but they're not going to go any further than that. And from here you can see that the molecules look like they're escaping, they're kind of floating away. An example of this would be if you shake up a soda, the bubbles that are in that, they're going to stay in that can or that bottle until you open it, and then it's going to kind of explode and they're going to float down the sides of the bottle. Those air bubbles are an example of gases. So what I want you to do next is review any notes that you've taken during this video, and then I want you to go back to the lessons website, and at the top there should be a button that says tutorial. Click this and it'll take you to the page with part 2 of this lesson, and from there you can just follow the instructions.